I am a spiritual writer, energy reader and healer. My readings, articles and the healings that I give are all sort of seeking to empower and provide a different perspective, really. How would I describe myself in 3 words? I'm passionate, authentic, and most of all, I'm fun. You've got to laugh at times, right? Okay, so not all the time. Sometimes we'll cry together too. Hope you're enjoying all the content that I'm putting up on my channel, and if that's the case, love it if you could like and subscribe. Until then, see you around, lovely wing people. Hi, welcome to your Mercury retrograde reading today. So, just doing a little intro into all of the readings. Mercury retrograde usually happens sort of 3 to 4 times a year, depending on the lunar calendar, and it's a very difficult time where the retrograde means that we go back or we go and revisit something, or things may not work as well. But they may not work as well because there's a reason or a lesson that we need to gain from it. It's often a time, because it's ruled, Mercury is the planet of communication, it affects all types of communication. So it can affect our computers, our phones, our cameras. Tell me about it. I've had a few camera issues of that period. So yeah, it can really feel like it's working against us. It's a time frame of shadow that we just need to work through and get through. But often, on a positive note, there are things, as I said, just that, you know, that we need to take from it, that we need to learn from. So coming out of this period is a good thing, or is a positive thing, and affects us in different ways, because wherever the retrograde sits at the time of the year will affect each of us astrologically differently, because it will sit in the different 12 houses, which are houses for astrology that are ruled by planets and affect us in our day-to-day lives. So I just wanted to sort of mention what it was and how it might affect us before I started any of the readings. Welcome, Taurus. You're on the next one on my list of my Mercury retrograde ending readings. So welcome to you. Just going to light a little bit of frankincense. I've been smoking out my whole house doing these readings today, but it smells lovely. Absolutely lovely. So yeah. Okay, so I'm also going to give a little chime to my singing bowl. This can be a bit noisy, and I didn't warn the other star signs, so my apologies to them, but I'm going to start warning people. It's a little bit high pitched. It clears the energy, and sometimes I just like to do them before I start a reading. So cover your ears. Right. Cool. Okay. So then, my Taurians, how have you been during the retrograde? What crazy things have been happening to you, I wonder? Okay, before I've done a bit of a pre-shuffle. I know some people like to see a shuffle on camera, but it takes quite a lot of time, so I do a bit of a pre-shuffle first, and then I just do a mini one as I go. And then we crack on with it that way. Okie doke. Right, so first of all, I am using at the moment these empowerment cards that I bought the other day. They're really cool, and I'm just pulling one for every sign or for every reading I do, just because I think they're really nice cards. They're a little bit tongue-in-cheek as well. And yeah, I just think it's nice to get a little bit of empowerment. Why not? So what empowerment would you like to offer our lovely Taurians at this time? What can we share? And I'm going to cut the deck. Okay, your mind is a weapon. Keep it sharp. There you go. Your mind is a weapon. It's saying, think about the things that you're doing. Be aware of stuff that's going through your mind. Pay attention, my dear ones. Okay, today I'm going to use my Rider-Waite. I'm going to do 6 cards, and then I'm going to clarify my Rider-Waite with my Island Wellness cards. Okay, a little bit of clarification there for you to see what's happening and where you're going now that you've come out of this tricky time. We're then going to, at the end, we're going to use the Soul Angel card. You're going to get a message from the angels there. And then I'm going to do a Archangel Michael card. Ta-da! I work with Archangel Michael quite a lot in my readings. It's a very powerful character. And sometimes he cuts through the crap, shall we say, with his sword of truth, which I rather like. Yeah, so we're going to pull 1 card from him at the end. So, my lovely Taurus. So let's talk about, actually, before I start, I need to sort of mention what the retrograde meant to you. So the retrograde sat in your 6th house. And this house can be to do with kind of, I think it affected you in terms of wellness, health, maybe a little bit of financial. Perhaps things weren't going that well, or you felt like things were purposely messing up for you. First card pulled out in reverse. I do read reverse tarot. Okay, so you have got the 9 of Wands in reverse. We'll get to that in a moment, my lovely Tauruses. So, that's actually very indicative of what I just said when I was talking about perhaps this retrograde has caused problems in areas of your finances or your energy, your health. Perhaps you've not been well, or, oh, okay, there's too many for me to take all of those jumpers because I do normally take jumping cards. So, well, maybe not. Maybe I will take them. There might be just enough for our 6 spread. Number 2, the Star card. Okay, so this is weird. The last reading I just did had this exact card in the exact position in. Okay, oh my goodness, they had this as well, the Hanged Man. And for those of you saying, well, you probably not shuffled properly. Well, it was a completely different tarot deck as well. I used the Psychic Tarot for my last reading for Aries. So they also got the Star and the Hanged Man. Sometimes we do, I mean, this is a general reading, obviously, for all Taurians out there. But we do sometimes have this collective energy, especially when we come out of something like a retrograde. There might be this like common factor or this common thread running through some of the readings for all of us, basically. So I'll keep an eye on that, and that'd be interesting for me to know. Right, so next card, King of Cups. So this is a water card, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Doesn't have to be a man. They're not gender specific. Can be the energy of. This King of Cups for me is normally scorpionic energy. But yeah, it can be any of the water signs. Okay, so now we've got the Magician in reverse. Another major arcana card under the Star. And then your 6th final card is the Page of Cups. There we go. Under your Hanged Man. So let's talk, as I'm looking at these cards, let's just go through some of what we were talking about in terms of for you. So the 6th house. So the 6th house is actually ruled by Mercury normally, but you sat under that during the positioning of the retrograde. And sometimes that can be a time for healing and can bring up healing issues. So it might even be that it wasn't specifically a health issue, like I mentioned, for some of you. For some of you, it might have been a healing issue. Perhaps there were some difficulties, some feelings or emotions that came up during that period that you were dealing with, and that maybe you needed to take a closer look at for yourself, basically. Right, so I always read the bottom of the deck as the energy of the overall read. And so we've got the 8 of Pentacles. And I spoke about money, didn't I? Now, Taurus, you sit in the 2nd house in terms of your actual astrology sign. Astrology sign, can I speak? No? Okay. So it's sitting in the second house as a Taurus. You're ruled normally by Venus. So it means you're very loving and you'd make a lot of decisions with your heart. But it's really about money and work and these sorts of areas, the second house. So even though you affected in the sixth house, coming out of it, the overall theme is that you're going back to where you belong. You're going back to that comfortable place that you sit, Taurus. You're in your own sign there. So this Eight of Pentacles is about financial, maybe the financial side of things are on the up. This card's very much about working on your finances, working hard towards a goal to achieve something. So moving forward, that's something that you're really going to find important, or you're going to be working towards as we go to the end of the year. So I'm going to put that one by. So Eight of Pentacles. It's a really good sign when you read somebody's astrology and their cards just completely confirm everything about what sits in their house. It just confirms your reading and confirms who you are, basically, which is always great when you're a reader, from a reader's perspective anyway. So let's just pull a couple of clarification cards before we then go into the reading. So let's pull a clarification card to sit along the top spot with our Nine of Wands. Okay, no, you don't want to take them? No. Okay, Spirit, what are you going to tell us that we need to let Taurus know after this crazy retrograde? No, you want me to take those three? Okay, so we have seduction against this card. Seduction, hey? Sorry, we got these ones, didn't we? And then we've got in your second row, you've actually got more cards, so I'm going to just take all four. In the second row, we have got Mask, under your Star, and Magician in reverse. Okay. And your third row, we have Ascending. Ascending is always great, especially when we're getting over problems and obstacles. And then I'm going to take this third one that kind of jumps. It isn't in any of the columns. It's like I'm taking this as a little separate add-on. Is somebody getting engaged? Is somebody thinking about asking somebody to marry them? Or are you engaged in something, some financial gain? Are you engaged in some new proposition for a job or career move? Okay, so we'll look at that after. So let's look at our first row. So, your Nine of Wands in reverse. If it was in the upright, I'd say that this is kind of you at the end of a very long road of battle. And it can be very tiring, but because it's in reverse, it's like you're coming out of that energy. So I think you've been through a very difficult couple of months, maybe longer than a couple of months. This may even be pre the retrograde, to be honest. This feels like a longer period. You know what? I do tend to look at the numerology when I do my readings. And this is a 9. And number 9s are all about closing up cycles or coming to the close of something, near the end of something. Not quite there yet, but getting there. So this energy is telling me that you have been really trying hard to achieve something. It might be that you've been in a relationship that you think isn't going to work and you've been trying your hardest to make it work and it's going to end its cycle. But whatever this means for you, love, romance, finance, whatever, it's about a cycle coming to a close. And it's about lighter times coming in for you. Okay. With the King of Cups underneath, this King of Cups is somebody who's very strong, very in control of their emotions and their mind. So I did speak about this water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So perhaps this is a person. Court cards aren't always necessarily a person, it can be you. So either you or this person could be part of this energy of this closing down of something or new beginning. It could be somebody new on the horizon after a difficult break, a difficult end. Could be that your relationship has not been seeing great times, and you're going to sort of take control of your emotions. And kings are powerful. Kings are the energy of taking control of the situation. They're the highest member of the court cards. And this king is very strong, but very loving, very reliable, somebody that's heart's always in the right place. And whatever the situation this pertains to, or if this resonates with you, it's a positive card to sort of end that column on, really, because it's saying that whatever happens, you're going to either come into this power yourself, or somebody this powerful is going to come into your life and make a difference. Could be a new boss. You could be offered a new job. This boss might be a really genuine, heartfelt character who you want to work for, who you're driven to make money for yourself and for perhaps that new role. Okay, we clarified that card with our Island Wellness, and we had the card of seduction. It says attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third-party interference. So we talked potentially about coming to an end of a cycle. Perhaps somebody has, not judging by the way before anyone says anything, perhaps you've been in a relationship and there's been a third party. Maybe you're married and you've had another partner, or maybe you've been seeing somebody that's married, or maybe they've just got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and you've started dating them as well. This is saying that either way, this is going to come to an end. Now, this might be a good end or a bad end, but it will be the end of a potential conflict. Or it will mean that something will come out and one way or the other, 3 will become 2, or maybe even 1. 2 become 1, maybe. Who knows? There's a lot of numbers in there, a lot of relationship references. It's not always a great place to be in. Lots of people like to judge these sorts of things. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm not judging. Sometimes we fall in love with people, these type of characters, strong people that can express love, express their heart on their sleeve to us anyway, or maybe to somebody else as well. But sometimes we can be fooled into getting caught up in this sort of scenario. As I say, no judgment. But what we have just talked about in terms of this retrograde and coming out of it is whatever it is, we're going to be moving forward. So some sort of decision is definitely going to be made. Somebody is going to take the lead or end this whole thing. Because like I said, 9s are the end of a cycle. So perhaps they are going to end something with you, or you're going to end something that, although you're in love with the idea of it, you can't see a road forward. You know, in this card, this person can't see the way forward. They're a little bit battle torn. Perhaps you just realise that what's going on is just not good for you and that you deserve better. That's a message for somebody out there. Take what resonates, as I said before. Okay, your second column, the star card. Dreams, aspirations, things coming true. We spoke about your money getting better. This can be coming into money. This can be getting a pay rise. It could be, you know, there's also quite interesting this water in the card. In the star card, this is also on the back of the temperance card, which comes before it. And it's all about this maiden digging deep into this pool of emotion, or this pool of something she cares about. That might be money, that might be a job, that might be love. But she's really trying to fill her cup up with whatever that is and make the dreams come true. So maybe it's about making these right decisions, and with that water influence, you know, sometimes still waters run deep, and sometimes we need to dig really deep to work out what it is that we want, or how we feel, and sometimes even what's best for us, you know? Magician in reverse. In the upright, this person can make whatever they want happen. They have all the tools they need. In reverse, they do not. Sometimes it can be somebody who's not very loyal. Sometimes it can be a character that's not being completely honest or completely above board. It can also sometimes mean that you're not in your power in this position. So perhaps you have been going through these difficulties and you've just not felt confident, able to make decisions. This period will pass and this will reverse. You will find that power. But before you do that, you need to remove this mask. The clarification of the mask. So not showing true feelings, hiding, pretending, deluding yourself, gaslighting. So this really, I don't know who this reading is for, but it's really talking, there are some relationship connotations to this, and there are some quite dark areas I think you've probably been experiencing. Quite an element of toxicity, maybe in somebody else, maybe even in yourself. So it's time to remove this mask. It's time to reveal your true feelings, who you are and what you want out of life, or the relationship, or whatever the scenario is. No more hiding, no more being dishonest, no more not telling the truth with yourself as much as is somebody else. You know, often we are not very honest with ourselves. So yeah, that's something to be mindful of. Okay, so in our last row, we have the Hanged Man and the Page of Cups. The Hanged Man is all about seeing things in a different way. You know, sometimes if you stand upside down on your head, you see the world from a different view. And this is what this card really is getting at. So something's coming in for you. The Cups, the Page is a court card again. And pages are normally either an energy of somebody very young, another water sign, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio again. There's a lot of water actually in this reading. Maybe the person we're talking about is a water sign, or maybe they are showing very emotional sides to them, or you're showing a very water sign-like energy emotionally right now, even though you're obviously an earth sign. It's asking you to maybe look at this from a different perspective. And I saw this earlier. It was saying it's time to take the mask off and understand what's going on in your life at the moment. This is also about learning things and education. So perhaps you're going to find out information that's going to give you a bit more depth so that you can make a better decision on someone or some scenario. But this is definitely somebody coming towards you, or an offer coming towards you, or something that you maybe need to check out the perspective. Don't make any rash decisions with this card in this position. Think about it. Look at other people's perspective. Look at who else is involved in this scenario. What other lives are going to be affected by what's going on here? Okay. This was clarified by the Ascending card. So obstacles, learning, expansion. And I said that was about learning. For some of you, that would be learning a new skill, doing a new job, being offered something, a promotion again maybe. And with this ascending, it's like going through a new phase in your life, but it's upwardly mobile, which is always great news. Sometimes we're going through difficult times and we don't always know the answers, but we just have to believe everything's working out for us and have a bit of faith. Have a bit of faith in yourself as much as anybody else. Okay. So this engagement card popped out. Wow, wow, wow. We have been talking about partnerships. For some of you, that will be an amazing engagement that's you're about to be proposed to, which should be lovely. And congratulations to those of you Taurians that are getting engaged. Moving on to greater times, better love, nicer unions, that sort of thing. For those of you that this might have other meanings, it might be an engagement coming to a close. It might be that you're engaging in something different, some new area in your life. Doesn't necessarily mean physically engaged. You know, this idea as well of people that are already in relationships, if it had been difficult during the retrograde, you know, rings they don't begin and they don't end. They keep going. So maybe this is a sign to say, keep going, you're nearly there. We all go through trials. It doesn't mean we don't love that special someone. It doesn't mean they don't love us. Maybe this is just a little sign to say, perhaps don't give up hope. Okay. Right, I'm going to now read you your angel cards as we close this read. Oh, jumped. As we close the reading, Taurus. So your angel that jumped out is the angel of cheerfulness. Oh, aren't we happy to see this now? After some of what I've just said. The angel of cheerfulness. So the more you're cheerful, the healthier you will feel. This is another message on the back of everything. Because some of you would have been literally zapped of all your energy during this retrograde. You would have felt that just not yourself. You might have felt, under the weather even. You might have been ill. This is to say that you're on the up now. Be cheerful, be positive, be upbeat. The winds of change are turning for you. So that's really lovely. It's a nice note to sort of end on. Your last card from Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael, what can you tell us? I'm really apologising if the light's terrible. There's a window behind. Oh, well, here we go. A window behind me. And it may not be casting the right light, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. Okay, so your final card, your Archangel Michael card. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Wow. What do we say about this taking the mask off and being truthful? Somebody out there has something to say. Somebody out there has a decision to make, and Archangel Michael wants you to know that you're not alone in making that decision. And you need to find your voice and your truth, and he will help you. So I'm just going to read at the bottom of these little cards. There's like a little section that is just for you to take away. So it's like a little prayer, and if I just read that out to you. So, I appreciate your support in helping me face my feelings with grace and acceptance, so that I can be loving, honest, and with myself and others. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for giving me courage and strength. So I'm going to leave your reading there, Taurus, but what I'm going to say to you is, for me, the whole essence of this reading is about courage and strength. Just at the end of your reading, I just wanted to mention my new spell kits that I've been writing. On the website, I do mention that I associate myself with green witches, which are healers. And they work with mindfulness and this sort of thing. And I've been producing these spell kits. If you can see that up close. Yeah. The spell kits I write myself, and I do a couple of adult ones and some children's spell kits. There is a review currently on my website. Go and take a look. For one of my young viewers that purchased one of these kits, just talks a little bit about what's in them and how she's enjoyed them. So that might be worth having a look at on my website. So that's www.pegasusandthewitch.com. So it's very quickly, I thought I would just go through the sort of things that are in these kits. So they come with a scroll, and I write all of the special spells. So there are different ones. So the children ones, there are 3 different ones available. Go and have a little look at what those are. Just a very quick idea of the sort of things that are in them. This is one of the adult love kits I've got here. So inside the adult ones comes the Pegasus and the Witch candle that you can light during the spell. And these lovely dragon's blood incense sticks also come with the kit, and they have sort of instructions of when to burn these and in what order to do that. So they smell amazing, the dragon's blood ones. They are just such a beautiful thing to have anyway. And then each kit comes with a very different little talisman, and talismans are associated with luck and magic. So these are part of the spells as well. This one here is my witch with the 3 angels. They're very interactive. Each kit comes with a special affirmation card as well that you can be using after you've used the spell. And they're all about empowerment and believing in yourself and this sort of thing. And they're really great things to interact with. So yeah, go and have a little look on the website.